So Nathan, I'm glad to see your presentation. I'm honored to have you here in WOW Festival. And your speech was so inspiring, and you had a lot of stories and a lot of insights that I think it's going to be very valuable for our attendees. If we consider most of them, they have the desire to be an entrepreneurs, or to have their own startups, or maybe they are running their own startups. But when I saw the timeline you described in your presentation, I have a very simple question for you. So I want to know, where is innovation heading right now?
Is going in artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence will develop many new products. And artificial intelligence and 5G will change the world because it'll do things much faster. Let me give you an example. The pharmaceutical industry, okay,
Okay.
to do their tests, on patients, to test drugs and do trials, it would take them sometimes 2 years to identify the proper people who they might someone who has this disease but also has Alzheimer's, who also, they need combinations, which took 2 years of research, calling doctors and communicating with doctors back and forth. Today, that 2 years is done in 2 months. Okay, that's what artificial. So if you can think of 2 years, 2.5 years to 2 months, take that to other industries. Artificial intelligence will change our world, and with 5G, it'll change the applications we can use. We're coming into a whole new world over the next decade that'll bring products that are it's just as disruptive as the early personal computers were when they were introduced, and how it changed our world. That's what AI will do in all aspects of the world.
Do you share the vision of Mr. Stephen Hawking? Recently, he passed on. That artificial intelligence will be the bigger innovation and the last one.
Yeah, no, I don't. Let me, because that's one of the questions I'm asked all the time. With every disruptive product I've been a part of, I've heard the scare tactics, how the internet we were going to be wiped out, how with every different one, I believe there will be a lot of negative activity happen from artificial intelligence. And with there is fraud on e-commerce that exists, but there's fraud and corruption in our society everywhere we go. We have to continue to find ways to control it, but we cannot stop development and progress. We have to stop corruption. It will be a part, and our society as a whole will learn to deal with it. But no, I do not believe in his theory. I believe, it'll cause some tragedies, but it'll cause a lot more good. It will save a lot of lives on developing cures that didn't exist. It'll do the positive by far outweigh the negative.
Do you think that AI can improve the human sense, the human feelings, and the human power to perform these changes that all the societies are demanding right now?
I do. It can, and it will. But there'll be new challenges, okay? There'll always be new challenges.
Perfect.
There's no such thing as a perfect utopia of products. As we create, it opens up new opportunities. If you just look at what I brought about the COVID-19 virus, it took things, we found so many new uses for Zoom. It opened up a whole new business on something I'm doing that's doing well, that never existed before COVID. Now, I'm not a proponent of COVID, and it's terrible. But we, as a society, use our creative minds to make life better for us all. And those are opportunities, and they will never run out. Only people will quit.
How do you see the manifestations and the movements against the power of the big techs? there's a lot of governments that contest and they are telling that the big techs accumulate a lot of power. And how do you see this power? And if you agree that maybe we need to do some spin-offs in these huge companies. As a pioneer of the internet, do you really think that the big techs has this power?
Yes, I do. But I'm not so for breaking up companies at this time, but I am for regulations of truth and regulations of what's posted. You know, the media really controls our society. You know, whether you like the conservative channels or the liberal channels or the crazy, wacky media, everybody who listens it, who makes that choice, whatever box you pick, believes in that media. They believe the things they're hearing. So there is a lot of power. My personal belief, it has to be controlled more by regulations than destructions of companies. I was not for what America did to the Chinese company of TikTok, okay?
Yes.
Quite frankly, I didn't think that was right. I didn't think it was fair, and I don't think it helped the US government, the society at all, okay? I don't believe in separateness. I believe in we're one big world, and our problems of the world are problems of the universe.
And the whole world we need is one. Okay. One single question. And your presentation at the last part of it, you described what I may call a roadmap to be an entrepreneur, and you showed us 5 steps to build this sense of entrepreneurship and to undertake as a fact. And you talked about the passion, you talked about the money, you talked about the relationships, but one single point attracts me more. It's about the edge, because it's a little bit out of the box. It's slightly out of the box as the common sense that I expected to see in some kind of roadmaps like this. When did you realize that it's really important to be in the edge, to stay in tune with our consciousness in order to be a better entrepreneur?
Well, when I started Audio Highway, I was already like that. I was a vegetarian. I didn't drink. I ate healthy, and I ran. And and then while working at Audio Highway, I started to see this was an important part of my stamina, ability to do it. And when I really realized it was a company after Audio Highway where I didn't quite eat as well. I started eating meat. I didn't quite exercise. And my wine consumption was a little more. And I didn't do quite as well. And I mentioned when I discussed the 4 or 5 elements, I said, I looked at my successes and my failures. And I've had more than one of both, unfortunately. Somebody who fails is just beginning and learning, okay? Somebody who fails is someone who didn't quit. Okay, so failure's okay. Learn from it. So that was when I really learned this was one of the major differences. And it makes sense. If you're up against something, you need to have everything,
You need to be humble to accept your own failures,
And I believe that was one of the most important parts of me being able to handle what I had to handle. It was not easy. Let me tell you. I can say it was fun. It was some of the most fun times of my life. But I had doctors tell me, quit doing it. You're going to kill yourself. So, it's choices. So I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
This is why the entrepreneurship is not for anyone, because when you need to balance all of these features, it's not easy for everyone, because you really need to know that you will hear a lot of counsels like that, Oh, quit, please, stop.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
Let me give you a quote. This quote was by Reid Hoffman, who I believe was the founder of LinkedIn. I could be wrong, but I believe I'm right. And he said, being an entrepreneur is like jumping off of a mountain and building an airplane on the way down. Because when you're going to build something and change something, you're dealing with unknowns because it hasn't done before. So, it's important to have a plan, but that plan will change massively because you're learning every day.
Perfect. So a final message for the WAL attendees, the entrepreneurs, the startup people, the people that works with innovation in great companies, in leading companies, the teachers that are seeing us right now. Please give them a message.
Something I always say, which really isn't true, but I say, I've never had a real job. Okay, I've always loved what I did. I meet so many people that hate Mondays. Sundays they say, I wish I could have more weekend. On a Friday, I used to think, oh, the weekend's here. I can't wait for Monday. Okay, I like the weekdays better than the week. So I'm going to say, don't sell yourself out. It's very important, and I know we all have to get jobs to pay the bill. I understand that. But we spend 8 to 12 hours a day at our work. Why not do something you love? Follow your passion, follow your heart. Even if it's a little painful at first, you won't be sorry. You won't be sorry. It's better than doing the same thing every day, day in, day out.